They look like the most expensive rear lights in the automotive industry.
1.2 liter engine, everyone, that produces 96 kilowatts.
Just because you get a GT line does not mean the engine is all flashy and
looks desirable at a price.
The Peugeot 408. That's right. Now, if Citroen could have the C5 X, the Peugeot could also have something like this. This was the politics that went on all along in the PSA group. Whatever the Peugeot gets, Citroen gets it eventually. Whatever Citroen gets, Peugeot also gets it eventually, guys. And it is right here, the Peugeot 408. Is anyone surprised that this vehicle just rolled out? I sure am not. In fact, the fastback style has been something traditional with the French manufacturers, especially it started with the Citroen SM and with the Citroen DS. Take a moment and admire the Peugeot 408 from various angles, guys. Very interesting.
Many years ago, guys, back in the 2000s, Peugeot was a laughingstock car manufacturer. They were building cars that were so not desirable and certainly not interesting to drive, and they were just known for their plastics in the interior, guys. But today, Peugeot is making one of the most desirable cars in the automotive industry. Now, the question to ask ourselves, is desirability enough? Because I think it's not enough to just be desirable. It's sometimes more than enough when you have desirability combined with reliability, also good value for money. And this is something the French car manufacturers failed to offer. They have one of the best styling, guys. Don't get me wrong. The looks of their cars tend to be more expensive than what their price indicates. Very good, but they're only good when they function. This Peugeot 408 costs 46,000 euros. Is this good value for money or not? Well, we're gonna find out in a moment, everyone. Let's get on with this review right now. So you get a 1.2 liter engine, everyone, that produces 96 kilowatts. Just about enough punch for a proper acceleration, guys. This is ideal for its price and segment. I have to mention to you all, this is a GT line, so therefore, you get appropriate tires for decent handling and acceleration. Just what you need by the laws of physics.
Just because you get a GT line does not mean the engine is all flashy and everything, guys. As soon as I looked at the engine, I don't know what it is about the PSA group engines, but they always look like as if they were afterthoughts. Like, take a look at this, guys. The last time I've ever seen this sort of presentation was somewhere in the 2000s, or this would be appropriate for the 90s, but look at the way, I mean, wow, look at the material they use. This is the first time I see this sort of material being used. It looks like it has been dented already. Oh boy. Well, at least this is the thing about the PSA group engines. They are built to last. Now the engines are one of the strongest components of the PSA group cars. They are bulletproof. But when it comes to electronics, they did always see questions. So, and this is the case with French cars in general. So I'm not talking about the PSA group alone. I'm also addressing Renault.
We just take a moment and admire how light the bonnet is. This has to be one of the lightest bonnets I've ever held. I can even hold it with my thumb, guys. Look at this. This is not recommendable, but it's something you could do, or just hold it with your little finger, like this. See? It's so lightweight. It's almost like a sheet of metal.
Ever since Stellantis happened, guys, models have been released. New models by the PSA group and the Fiat Chrysler group. I just don't know where does it stop, guys. Is it questionable or not? It's not questionable because it's called competing, guys. They are competing, but at the same time, the reason why I'd say it's questionable is because I feel like it's diluting the identity slowly. It's just, it's a bit too much, guys. So for instance, I look at this Peugeot 408 and from certain angles, I'm under the impression I'm looking at an Italian car manufacturer. A remarkable difference between Peugeot and Citroen is that Peugeot has gone all sharp-edged and they've gone all diamond style. So this is evident with the side body design, guys. Look at the side, guys. It has this diamond-like design. and it's very interesting how they've gone about this. It's something Citroen would not do, and especially for the rear lights. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like Peugeot rear lights are more. They look like the most expensive rear lights in the automotive industry. I've seen cars from the premium segment that cost 100,000 euros and they don't even have interesting rear lights like these. So it's very interesting what Peugeot has done. But then, as I said earlier, they're only nice when they work. So as for reliability, it's something you can judge in long terms, not in short terms. Or maybe in short terms, you never know. I believe this is supposed to be a reference to the lion or something. The design of the front. It overall reminds me of a lion or a tiger. That's one thing I can tell for sure. Or a cat. Now, over here, the wheels, guys. You get a 5-spoke alloy wheel, guys. It's a duotone, so you get this black alloy along with the shiny alloy lines, guys. Very interesting. Now, by the way, this is plastic. You feel that's on the wheel. You get a 360-degree parking camera, guys. Keyless entry, everyone. Because this rear boot has a little spoiler on the rear, this should improve the aerodynamics, I believe, guys. Just look at the design over here. This is it's like a sports car. It's something you'd see on a Lamborghini usually, but Peugeot puts it on the 408. Whilst exploring this Peugeot 408, I did notice some questionable aspects. The first thing I would like to remark is that whilst it looks gorgeous, you can easily see through the grille, and when you look through the grille you can notice this material over here, guys. That material that's just right there. Now that does not look very appealing in my opinion, you know, like when you look at it, it looks gorgeous, but then everyone can see easily through the grille and they'll notice that material first thing. Despite how wonderful and organized the rear looks, Peugeot decides to put the reverse lights all the way down there. I believe these are supposed to be your reverse lights. Time to explore the interior of this Peugeot 408. Already I see some goodies, guys. The first thing I'd like to remark is just the presentation of the seats. Now these seats look like they come from a car of 100,000 euros or more than that. They're very interesting. So seating memory, electric seating adjustments, guys. And then wonderful presentation of the door. Wow. Very French. Interior of the Peugeot 408, guys. Now, presentation looks absolutely stunning. This is a thing to note about Peugeot compared to Citroen. Peugeot has developed an obsession for sharp edges in the interior, and it's like a diamond theme, guys. Infotainment system over here. Now, I believe this is a double screen, and this is a concept which the Volkswagen Group have developed an obsession with. So I'm assuming this would be for your infotainment, like navigation and maps. This separate screen right here would likely be for your climate control. I'm assuming it is. Because I see that with this Peugeot 408, they've adopted a concept of having as less buttons as possible. Just basic buttons that are for the essential. So like right here, guys, buttons for your climate control or for your infotainment system. And I like how the hazard lighting button is covered in red. Start-stop button right here, guys. This is your transmission. Wonderful. And then over here you get a 12-volt socket, USB point, and little storage space right here, which is deep enough. And you get 2 cup holders of fixed sizes, guys. Wonderful. Good presentation. If you don't need them, you get a shutter right here. And you get your parking brake right here. Oh, and you even get driving mode. And now let's talk about the trim. Now the trim over here is very interesting. I don't know what material it is, but it's very nice, guys. Something simple and something easy to live with. If it gets dusty or something, you can wipe it clean easily, and then you get hard plastic throughout the rest of the interior. Well, hard plastic, more like squidgy plastic. This door is very nice. You get nice leather trim. The leather trim that's on the handle is a bit strange. It looks like leather. It's got the stitching on the side, but when you touch it, it's quite firm. It's as if it's plastic, guys. Okay, well, I don't know what's supposed to be, guys, but whatever it is, rest of the interior is just hard plastic, which you decide if it's questionable or not. 46,000 euros, guys. I would expect a little bit more interesting materials. You get this imitation of what looks like carbon fiber, but it's not. It's instead some very unique material. I don't know what material, what trim this is, but yeah. digital instrument cluster, guys, and the part which I do not like, guys, the steering wheel. Yes, I just said it. I do not like Peugeot steering wheels. I just don't know why Peugeot obsesses with this size of steering wheel. Oh, it's time to cover practicality, guys. Oh, yes. Now, micro storage space right here. You get a fancy central console storage. Wonderful. So this is a concept that started with the 5008 and now Peugeot has brought it all the way here with the 408. Now the central console storage is fancy, but not spacious enough. So, USB point in there, but it's not spacious enough. The glove box is as good as it has to be for its price and segment. Great door bin for its price and segment, guys, and I bet it can hold a bottle because it's there's some space right here, guys. Very good. Yeah, it's as good as it has to be for its segment. You guys get a panoramic roof. Hey, I'm very impressed with the presentation of this interior and I absolutely love the concept. It looks very premium and I just love how I'm cocooned in this interior. It feels really, really more than what its price indicates. That's one thing I love about them. This is the thing about Peugeot. Their cars give you the impression you're sitting in something more expensive. Like the seats look like they come directly from a car of 100,000 euros. But then as you look at the interior, yeah, it's a Peugeot. But then questions arise as well, and I'm going to point them out right now. The first questionable aspect, guys, is right in front of me, the steering wheel. The steering wheel is my least favorite part because it, by the laws of physics, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know what Peugeot was thinking of introducing the same format in every single vehicle. Like, why would you need this? Why? And the reason why I say laws of physics is because the bigger the vehicle, the bigger the steering wheel needs to be so that it's easy to turn, guys. Because the size of the vehicle indicates weight as well. The bigger the vehicle, the heavier it can be. Now, Peugeot steering wheels are very soft. Don't get me wrong, guys. But visibility. I have trouble looking at the instrument cluster because this part of the steering wheel is obstructing my view of the instruments cluster. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Can you see the instrument cluster? No, you can't, because this is obstructing the way. Now you all will tell me I should adjust the steering wheel. If I put the steering wheel too down, it will go very close to my legs. If I put it too up, it'll look rather awkward when I drive, because it's going to be too above for me. Aspect I found rather questionable is that there's no storage above. Time to explore the rear seat of the Peugeot 408. So, ease of entrance, and the rear seats feel like as if I'm sitting on a couch, guys. Really nice. And they look very nice. By the way, I forgot to compliment the tone of the leather. The color of the leather. It looks really interesting. It's like mint green, I'd say. Mint green. So, first of all, the leather seats are very interesting. You get the green leather, which is like mint green, turquoise, with the green stitching, guys. Now, this color of green stitching is interesting because it reminds me of the engineer trim. Engineer trim is interesting. So, it's like how Mercedes has AMG, BMW has M, Audi has the S lines or RS lines. So Peugeot has developed a new brand, well, sort of like a new line, and we call this engineered. So engineered will always have this green color to it. So they have like green stitching. Now, I personally would avoid the engineer trims because the engineer trims are basically Peugeot cars with a very high price tag. Like, you know, would you spend that high price for a Peugeot? Air vents right here, no climate controls. 2 USB points down there. Very nice. You get backseat pockets on both back seats. Beacon of hope lighting. You get a handle right here, but no coat hook. Now that's questionable. 46,000 euros, guys. Yeah, although I do get a lot of leg room, but it depends on the seating adjustment of the front passenger and the driver. My knee room is very good though. And my headroom is also just as good. Nothing to complain about. Oh, there's something we have to talk about. Oh, now this is questionable. No strap to pull this down. Yeah, how do I get this down? There we go. There we go. Got this down. You get a cup holder in there, and you get a little storage space right here. But, that's it, guys. Yay! I feel like a VIP. Not really. Now guys, one thing I just have to remark is that the edge of this door sticks out very proudly, so you have to be careful when you open this door. Be careful not to hit your chin or your face, because it's always sticks out too close to me. This is the thing I've noticed about Stellantis cars in general. They have always got proud rear doors. Time to explore the boot space, guys, but before doing so, I just want to remark that the rear design is interesting, but for some reason, the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this, it somewhat reminds me of something Fiat used to do. Something Fiat used to do, guys. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But otherwise, this sort of design is could be also a reference to what Peugeot used to do for the front of their Peugeot partner. The front of the Peugeot partner used to have a design like this. The boot space of the Peugeot 408, everyone. Wonderful. So, you get these latches here to pull the back seats down. Wonderful. And a nice material right here. The metallic material, which is very cold at the moment, and it's very pleasant to touch. Wonderful, guys. Yeah, and you get a 12-volt socket over there. Beacon of Hope lightings. Wonderful. And a little strap right here for your shopping, or if you want to hold something. That's good. And I like the material it's lined with, guys. The materials are actually quite pleasant. And you get tether points as well.
So here's my conclusion of the Peugeot 408, everyone. The Peugeot 408 is one of the most promising crossover SUVs of today's generation, purely because of its style and because often French cars tend to be concepts brought to life. This is the thing that sets French competitors from other competitors, and they've also taken very strong initiatives towards the environment since very early generations, guys. We're talking the 70s. In the 70s, they already started taking environmental initiatives. So in some senses, French car manufacturers were already ahead of others when it came to economy cars and environmental initiatives. But then, were they really ahead of everyone when it came to technology? That's a no. So for a price of 46,000 euros, is this Peugeot 408 good value for money or not? That this Peugeot 408, everyone, was good value for money. I'm not inclined to say great value for money is because you see some equipment in the interior was missing. Like something just didn't feel completely fitting for a price of 46,000 euros. But then at the same time, guys, I have to say that and then as for the exterior, guys, some things seemed a bit interesting, and especially for the engine. When I looked at the engine, something felt afterthought-ish about it. Now, the interior is very promising, but sometimes I feel like it's too good to be true. The thing about Peugeot cars is that they always tend to look like they are more than what their price indicates, which is good. This is very good, guys, very decent. But then at the same time, their cars tend to be it's all about the flash, all about the style. But then what about the long-term reliability? So in my opinion of this Peugeot 408. Oh, I love it! Best Peugeot ever! One of the best Peugeots of today's generation, guys. Looks wonderful, looks desirable. At a price. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run, guys. And don't forget to check the links in the description for my car reviews, trial videos, and my creativity videos. Now, I have a question to ask you all. Do you all prefer Peugeot or do you all prefer Citroen, judging by the way they're performing these days? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.